you can feel that your physical body is ending and the world around you is beginning. And they would include things like just feeling your butt on your mat, right? Or feeling your sit bones rooting and your spine rising. Feeling your clothing against your skin, the weight of your hands on your legs, just places where you're making that contact. And it's a powerful way of taking your mind and asking it to start paying attention to sensation. And then you might also notice that you're breathing, right? And if you can, try to pinpoint where you're most experiencing that feeling of breathing right now. And it does change sometimes. You might be feeling the breath moving in and out through your nose or in your throat, or you could feel the rise and fall of your inhales and exhales in your chest or your rib cage or your belly. So just see if you can see how it is for you right now, and also the quality of your breathing. Does it feel free and easy? Is it constricted? And just know that, it's very likely to change however it is. Chances are when you build some heat, even if it feels pretty free and easy now, it'll feel even more so in a little while. And you can start looking for ocean sounding breath. And see if you can set an intention right now to really allow this next little bit of time we have together to be you time, right? To be time where you are really taking care of yourself and, nurturing your nervous system, your physical body, your emotional body, just really giving yourself this time and space to tune in and see what you need in order to take care of you, right? You got to fill your own tank, fill your own well first, so that you have something to be drawing from when you head out into the world. And what a beautiful thing that is, just to be committed to your own well-being and your own healing and your own strength, so that you have things to offer. And you do, for sure. Okay, come to hands and knees and set it up so that your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips, and you can tuck or untuck your toes, whatever feels better for you. And then inhaling, arching up. And when you exhale, rounding in, and just keep it going at a pace that feels good for you. So for your full inhale, coming into the cow pose, into the back bend, and then pause. And for your whole exhale, push the floor away, lift the space between your shoulder blades, and pause again. And we're going to extend the motion, and you'll see if it feels okay in your body. If it doesn't, you can stick with traditional cat-cows. But the next time you exhale, take your hips back towards your heels. And again, tucking or untucking the toes. So it might be, for some people, a lot for the feet with the toes tucked. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. And I'm going to untuck my toes now and come into an active child's pose. So forearms are up off the mat. Walk your hands forward. So you're really getting a nice stretch. And keep sinking your hips back toward your heels. And breathe. And then with your inhale, we're going to move through the cat all the way forward, coming into like a cobra up dog hybrid. So work the legs, lift the kneecaps and quads. Feel free to shift around if that feels good. You can shift your hips right and left. Just go nice and easy. And then exhaling through the cat back to the active child's pose. So I'm after the spine right now. We want to wake up the spine and wake up the energy. And inhaling, moving through the cat on your way to cobra or up dog if you're going to lift the legs, and exhaling all the way back. Getting a little rhythm going. And we're going to change it up again. So you come back to child's pose. The next time you inhale, stand up on your knees, reach the arms up. You're welcome to reach back a little if that feels good. And then exhaling back to child's pose. And then inhaling forward into the back bend. And exhaling back to child's pose. And again, stand up on your knees, inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling into the back bend. And exhaling. Standing up, inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Just a few more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Last one. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. All right, come to hands and knees, tuck your toes, take it up and back to down dog. Give yourself a moment. You can pedal out your legs or take your feet wide, whatever feels good. See if you can just really notice like big sensations, like your palms pressing into the mat and your fingers spreading wide open, or whatever you're feeling in the backs of the legs. And then walk your hands back to your feet. You can bend your knees as much as you need to and separate your feet a little bit wider, so you move them over to the edges of your mat. Just make sure your toes are pointing forward. And we're going to sway a little bit. It's kind of rocking right and left. And if you can, let your head hang. You can have your hands on blocks if you need to lift the floor up. I'm kind of thinking like a figure 8 with my hips, if that helps, right? It's pretty free form. So just a rocking motion here, which is really, I think, a sensation that we respond to in a positive way. Calming, safe sensation that we're all used to on some level, right? Primal. And then come to center and flat back, inhaling halfway up, let the exhale happen. And then inhaling all the way up, reach the arms high. And exhaling, hands to prayer. You can walk to the front of your mat and find Tadasana. So I always lift my toes up for a moment just to really feel my feet rooting down. Maybe that's helpful. Lift the kneecaps, lift the quads. Once I feel all that energy kind of rising up from the ground up, I'll let the toes relax. Draw the navel in, lift your heart. Lift through the crown of your head. Feel yourself breathing. And remind yourself, we only get one of you. And so it really does make sense to invest some time in your own well-being so that the particular spark that you have to bring to this dance, right? We're going to try to unearth that beauty, like bring it to the surface so you can really shine and offer it up. So it's a service that you do for everyone you encounter. And of course, it's great for you. Inhaling, reach the arms up. It's a win-win, everybody. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, chest out. When you exhale, step it back to plank. Plug the shoulders in, lift the navel up. Think about pulling the hands toward the feet to lengthen the heart forward. And then exhaling, chaturanga. You can release your toes. Inhaling into a cobra that feels good for you. So it can be down low. You can come up high. Try to pull back on the palms, lengthen the belly forward, open up across the chest. Take an inhale. And when you exhale, tuck the toes, take it up and back to down dog. And lots of breath. One point of focus. Nice, steady breath. Inhaling, press your hips back. Bottom of the exhale, walker float, feet to hands. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer at your heart. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, walker float, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. And exhaling to downward facing dog. And breathe. One more this way. Inhaling, hips press back. Bottom of the exhale, walker float, feet to hands. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer at your heart. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, walker float, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend, active legs. Exhaling up and back to down dog. And breathe. Inhaling, press your hips back. Bottom of the exhale, walker float, feet to hands. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer at your heart. We're going to step it out to the right and set things up. You're turning your toes out, whatever your natural turnout is. And so if you bend your knees, what you want to find is that your knees are lined up over your second toe. That's going to be important for your knee health. And then we're just going to nice and easy, inhaling, reach the arms up. And exhaling, sink on down. And inhaling up, just see how it's feeling right now. Big breath. And exhaling. You can rest your hands on your knees when you get there. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. However far feels right. You're not, forcing anything. Inhaling. And exhaling. And one more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Now there's going to be an option for the shoulders. So inhaling, come on up. And when you exhale, you can go into eagle arms, right arm underneath. If it feels too soon, just keep it as it was. Yeah, just reach the arms up and down. Inhaling up. Exhaling, left arm under. Inhaling up. Exhaling, right arm under. Hips and shoulders and hamstrings, just saying hello to everything. Inhaling up. Hello. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. A few more like this. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Big breath. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Okay, now we're going to target the hips and hamstrings. Inhaling up. And when you exhale, bring your hands to your quads. And then we're going to take the left shoulder to center and wrap the right chest open. Now my left arm is straight. And I am gently pushing my left leg away. So just to whatever degree, yeah? Inhaling slowly up. And you're not going to force your arm straight if it's not going. Exhaling, right shoulder to center, left chest wrapping open. Inhaling slowly up. Exhaling, left shoulder to center. Inhaling up. Exhaling, right shoulder to center. Inhaling. Exhaling left. Inhaling. Exhaling right. Inhaling. Exhaling left. Inhaling. Exhaling right. Last time. Inhaling. Exhaling left. Inhaling. Exhaling right. And inhaling up. Turn the toes forward. Open the arms, shoulders tight. Clasp your hands behind your back or work with a strap or a t-shirt. Take your shoulders up and back. Inhaling. Exhaling, fold forward. You can bend your knees if you need to. Just nice and easy. And here as well, just kind of rock back and forth. Bend the right knee a little. Bend the left. And the right and the left. Let your head hang. And bring your hands back towards your lower back. Release the arms. Just have your hands on the floor or the mat. And then hang out over on the right side for a few breaths. And then bend the left knee and hang out over on the left.
and over to the right. And this time walk your hands over to the left. So you get a nice release in the right low back. And then over to the left, walk your arms and hands over to the right. And then come back to center. Hold on to your hips. Come halfway up with your inhale. Let the exhale happen. And inhaling, press into your feet. Come all the way up and step to the front of your mat. So hopefully as we go, you're gleaning more and more information from the body, right? Find Tadasana. And we're going to move into some series C. If your knees are sensitive, you might want to put a blanket across the middle of your mat. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, chest out. When you exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, hands down. Step it into chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, down dog. Left foot forward, back knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, hands down, tuck the back toes, lean back, step forward. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, right foot back, right knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, down dog. Right foot forward, back knee down. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, step to the front of your mat. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, left foot back, left knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, down dog. Left foot forward, back knee down. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, step to the front of your mat. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, right foot back, right knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, down dog. Right foot forward, back knee down. Inhaling, reach it up. Exhaling, step to the front of your mat. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Let your head hang and separate your feet at least hip distance apart. You can go wider if you want. Bend the knees and just a really gentle bounce. Just, so kind of like a yoga bounce, like a gentle bounce where you're just encouraging energy to come to the surface. Like anything that you might be holding on to, from this last week or, just whatever's happening in your life, you're kind of gently inviting any of that stuff to come to the surface so that we can move through it and release whatever, might be blocking the flow of energy. It's like, come on out. Come on up. All right. So come to center. Inhaling, flat back, push into the feet, come all the way up. Exhaling, hands to prayer. So we're going to do one more series C with a lot of variations, again, to target the hips, hamstrings, shoulders, because I have plans for us. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, left foot back, left knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. We're going to come back into that sort of cat-cow theme. Exhaling, fold over the right leg. So we're in a Urdhva Dhanirasana. Now you can have blocks under your hands. You can bend the right knee any amount. You're welcome to shift your hips back and forth. This is our first one. So you're just trying to check in with the right hamstring. And we're going to go back and forth now. So rebending the right leg for the lunge, inhaling. And exhaling, Urdhva Dhanirasana 2. Inhaling. Exhaling, 3. Inhaling. Exhaling, 4. Inhaling. Exhaling, 5. We'll be back later, inhaling up for, possible full Hanuman. So right now, just bring the hands to the hips and come up out of the lunge a little bit if your hips were sinking way down, so that your left hip is above your knee, and we're going to toe heel the right foot to the right until the right heel is in line with the left knee. And you can take your hands and keep them on your hip creases. Right toes are pointing straight out to the right, and we're inhaling over to the right and exhaling back to center. How far to the right should you go? Your body will tell you, right? Exhaling up. Inhaling, 3. Inhaling, 4. Inhaling, 5. Inhaling, 6. Inhaling, 7. Inhaling, 8. Inhaling, 9. Inhaling, 10, and hold. Turn your right toes forward, spin the right foot flat. Let your right hand slide down the outer right leg. Take the left arm up and over. So think like reverse warrior. And just get a nice side stretch here. And then take that left arm up, and you can bring it to a block on the outside of your left leg or to the floor, and take the right arm up and over. So think like extended side angle. Look up underneath your right tricep, draw the navel in. And then draw the navel in as you inhale, reach the arms up. And when you exhale, bring the hands down, sweep the right leg back. Okay, inhaling, lengthen the right leg away. Exhaling, knee to the nose. Inhaling, arching up. Exhaling, rounding in. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. This one we're going to hold. Inhaling, extend the left arm forward, draw the navel up, draw the rib cage up, and then bend the back leg and reach back. And you can either look straight down or you can look back over the left shoulder. Keep breathing. One more inhale. Exhaling, arm forward, leg back. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, left hand down, right foot to the outside of your right hand. And tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. And we're coming into a lizard pose here. So see how you're feeling. You're welcome to rock back and forth and just kind of see if you are feeling pretty open. You can bring your forearms to a block or to the mat. If you don't have knee issues, you can point the right toes to the right and roll to the pinky toe edge of your foot. If you're doing that, make sure your ankle is strong here. Like, don't let your ankle bone kind of collapse toward the mat. We don't want to sickle the foot, okay? So this might be plenty. Some of you might want to bring your right hand to the inner right thigh and just kind of rest it there. It'll give you a little bit more. You can also add the back leg, bending the knee and reaching back, drawing the left heel toward the outer hip, or flipping the grip and now wrapping the right chest open. So lots of options. Try to pick a variation that feels good for you right now and then breathe into it. All right, if you've got the back leg, gently release it. Get back on the sole of your right foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, spin the back foot flat. So now the left toes are pointing to the back left corner of the mat, and the right toes are pointing to the sky. You can stay right here. You can have blocks under your hands. So this is the Skandasana variation. We're going to go back and forth, and you could be upright. You could also be down low and decide you don't want to go back and forth. Like maybe you have knee stuff and that's just not a good option for you. You can put a block under your butt and hang out right here. Those of you who feel really open and comfortable, we're going to head over to the right and back over to the left. Over to the right, over to the left, over to the right, over to the left. Two more. Over to the right, over to the left, last time, over to the right, and over to the left. So if you're, staying on the block, we're with you now, right? Everybody's over to the left. So you see how you feel. You can keep your hands down on the mat. You can slip a block underneath your butt if, it feels like that would be good for you. You can bring the hands to prayer and press the left tricep to the inner left leg. You can take the left arm to the left, right arm up. You can pivot the top arm and wrap it behind your back. If you're doing that, the spine is long and the right chest is wrapping open. Keep breathing. And some of you, if you're feeling extremely open in the hips and hamstrings, can sit down, right hand to the left ankle, left hand toward or to the outer right foot. So things that you want to work on if you're doing this, keep moving the left knee away from you. Don't let it sink toward the mat. Keep opening it. Wrap your left chest, your torso open toward the sky. Keep breathing. All right, draw the navel in, and we're going to crawl back to the right leg. Pivot in with the left toes a little bit. Take that left arm up and over, extended side angle. So you can have your right forearm on your thigh, but if you're doing that, there's really no weight on it. You can also take your right hand to a block on the outside of the front leg or fingertips to the floor. So spin the torso open, look underneath your left tricep. Keep your left leg really active. Good. Now take that left arm up and all the way over to reverse warrior. Take an inhale. When you exhale, cartwheel the arms. Step it into chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Can you believe all that? Exhaling, down dog. Left foot forward, back knee down. Woo! Inhaling, reach the arms up. And when you exhale, we're folding over the left leg. So Urdhva Dhanirasana. And for this first one, we're going to pause. And you're welcome to shift your hips back and forth and say hello to your hamstring. We get to do the whole second side. We get to, right? Such a privilege to have a healthy body that we get to move, yeah? Okay, rebend the left leg. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, Urdhva Dhanirasana for 2. Inhaling, exhaling, for 3. Inhaling. Exhaling for 4. Inhaling. Exhaling for 5. Thank you. Hamstring, right? Inhaling, come on up, and then come up out of the lunge a little bit so that you're standing with your right hip above the knee, and then toe heel your left leg over to the left so that your heel is in line, is in the same plane as your right knee, and your left toes are pointing straight out to the left. Yeah, here we go. Inhaling to the left, exhaling up. Inhaling 2. Inhaling 3. Inhaling 4. Inhaling 5. Inhaling 6. Inhaling 7. Inhaling 8. Inhaling 9. Inhaling 10. So now spin the left foot flat, point your left toes forward, and move away from the wall a little bit. And we're going to slide the left hand down the outer left leg and take the right arm up and over and just get that nice side stretch. And then inhaling, come on up and over. And it's that extended side angle idea, right? So you can have your right hand on a block, but see if you can spin your left torso open toward the sky and look up underneath the left tricep. Good. Then inhaling, come on up, palms together. And when you exhale, hands down, and we're going to swing the left leg back and arch it up, right? Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. This one we hold. Inhaling. Take your right arm forward, lift the rib cage up, spin the left hip down, and then bend the knee and reach back and open up the right chest and shoulder. You can look straight down. You can look back. Good. One more inhale. Exhaling, arm forward, leg back. Inhaling, lift it up. Exhaling, right hand down, left foot steps to the outside of your left hand. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and just scoot that back knee back a little bit and see how lizard pose is feeling. So your left knee and ankle are in line. We're always trying to stack the joints. Especially when you're coming into a long hold, right? You want to stack the joints. You want to keep that core engagement. You want to allow the muscles to release if they're ready to. And so you can stay here. You can bring your forearms down to a block or to the mat. You can point your left toes to the left and roll to the pinky toe edge of your foot. Make sure the ankle's really strong here. Some of you might rest your left hand on the inner thigh. And lastly, you can add the back leg, drawing the right heel toward the outer right hip or flipping the grip and wrapping the left chest open. Deep breathing. Good, good. Release the back foot if you've got it. Get back on the sole of your left foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Spin the back foot flat. Skandasana. So remember, right toes are pointing to the back right corner of the mat. Left toes are pointing toward the sky. You could stay upright. You can have blocks under your hands. If that feels like too much, just know you could have your hands on your hips. Okay, so there's always a way to work with your body. So we're going to go over to the left and over to the right. If you're comfortable, you're going to come down low. And then we're going over to the left and over to the right for 2. Over to the left, over to the right for 3. Over to the left, over to the right for 4. Over to the left and over to the right, and hold. Maybe a block underneath your butt to lift the floor if that feels like it would be helpful. Hands can stay on the mat. They can be in prayer. You can open. You can wrap. And if you feel really comfortable in the hips, hamstrings, shoulders, you can sit down and bring your left hand to your right ankle and your right hand toward or to the outer left foot, and you're looking up underneath the right tricep. So there is this extended side angle feeling here as well. Side body lengthening in the mix today. Breathe into it. Draw the navel in, and we're going to crawl back to the left leg. Pivot in with the right toes as you go. Extended side angle. So we're just talking about this pose. And so you're finding the variation that feels the best for you right now. It can be forearm on the thigh, but again, it's light. Or you can bring your hands to a block or to the floor on the outside. Okay? And look up underneath the right tricep. Classically, your focal point is on the right fingertips. Really active back leg. That powers the pose. And then take the right arm up and go all the way into reverse warrior. Inhaling. Oh yeah. And exhaling. Cartwheel the arm. Spin up to the ball of your back foot. Lean back. Step forward. That was a journey. Inhaling, chest out. When you exhale, fold in. Squat down on your heels. Come onto your back. Take the legs up. We're going to just do some core strengthening, and we'll be back on our feet. So take the legs up, reach the arms up. Imagine there's a thick rope dangling from the ceiling. Draw the navel down, lift the head and the shoulder blades up, and we're going to climb the rope for 1 minute, trying not to let the shoulder blades touch the floor. If it bothers your neck, by all means, take your hands behind your head. Just keep drawing the navel down as you lift the shoulder blades up. Coming down the home stretch. Reach, reach, reach. Good, good. Keep your legs up. Clasp your hands behind your head. Point your elbows straight up to the sky. Okay, so you're making a lot of space for the neck and the shoulders, and you've got the right ankle crossed on top. Now, in a minute, we're going to do this really tiny movement where we lift the tailbone up as we draw the navel down. I want you to feel this in the low, low belly. If you are someone who's feeling it more in the hip flexors, in the psoas area, then you're going to bend your knees to the right and left. Okay, and that should bring it back into the low belly. So here we go. Take an inhale with the tailbone down, exhaling, navel down, tailbone up, and hold. So you know what to do if you're feeling it more in the hip flexors, yeah? Inhaling down, exhaling, navel down, tailbone up, and hold. You're not holding your breath necessarily, though you might. Inhaling down, Exhaling, navel down, tailbone up, and hold. The main thing is to hold the pose. Inhaling down. Exhaling, navel down, tailbone up, and hold. And one more time. Inhaling. Exhaling, lift, and hold. Good, good. Take an inhale. When you exhale, draw the right knee in. Take your left elbow to your right knee. Extend the arms. Interlace everything with the index fingers. And then we're going to take the right leg up. Your left foot can go flat, or you can extend it. So at any time, feel free to bend the knee and put your left foot flat. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling to the inside of your leg. Inhaling, exhaling to the outside. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, 2. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, 3. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, 4. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, and hold. Here we go. Right leg. Inhale the right leg down. Exhale it up. Left foot can go flat, right? Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Hands behind the head. Cross the left ankle in front of the right. Take an inhale with the tailbone down. Exhaling, navel down, tailbone up, and hold. Inhaling down. Exhaling, lift, and hold. Inhaling, exhaling, lift, and hold. Inhaling, exhaling, lift, and hold. And last one, inhaling, exhaling, lift, and hold. And take an inhale. When you exhale, left knee in, right elbow to the left knee, extend the arms, left leg rises, right foot can go flat, or you can extend. Inhaling, reach the arms up, exhaling to the inside. Inhaling, exhaling to the outside. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, 2. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, 3. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, 4. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and hold. Inhale the left leg down, exhale it up. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Take the right leg up, hug the knees in. Just rock left and right, and then start to rock forward and back, forward and back. So get some nice momentum going. And when you're ready, you can use your hands or not. Come into a squat. But if you didn't use your hands for that, then shoot me a video so I can watch. Okay, so bring the hands right to the center of your chest. And just pause here in the squat. You can have a block underneath your asana. You can roll up your mat and put it underneath your heels. So, make yourself comfortable. Feel that fire in the belly. That's good stuff, isn't it? Fire in the belly. Yep. Okay, so just going to move these blocks a little bit. Take your left arm to the left and your right arm up. And then you can pivot the right arm and wrap it behind your back, some of you, right? And maybe you're going to clasp. And if you're clasping, you can keep the spine long and the right chest wrapping open, and that can be where you stay. Or if you're feeling comfortable, you're going to toe heel your right foot to center and come on up to standing. It's like a standing Marichasana. Wasn't sure I was going to hold on to it, but I did. Spread the left toes open. Woo. So what's nice about this, it's a great teaching tool for bird of paradise. This is like how you want the hip of the lifted leg to be. You want it spinning underneath you. Save a little energy for the descent. Come back to the squat. Yeah, okay. Breathe. Making shapes, right? Staying curious. Take your right arm to the right. Take the left arm up. Maybe this is where you should be today. You let you and your body figure that one out, right? Pivot the top arm if you want. A little more shoulder opening and wrap it behind the back. And maybe you're clasping. And if you're clasping and you want to, then you can kind of toe heel your left foot to center and come on up. There's a lot of core. And we just did a lot of core. So hopefully you're in touch with all of those muscles, right? And then a little energy for the descent, and release and hang forward. And just separate your feet. Make sure the toes are pointing forward. Your sacrum appreciates that. And sway. Remember that nice rocking motion we did at the beginning? Just kind of letting things roll off your back is a great skill as a human being. Lots of things happen every day. And, you know, as much as you can not to be taking things personally. Everybody that I know is struggling some amount right now. So just to try to extend some grace to everyone around you and to yourself. These are some very interesting, strange times we're living through. Lengthen your spine. Inhaling, come all the way up. Thank God for yoga. That's what I say. Exhaling. Woof. Hands to prayer. Tadasana. So we haven't been here for a while. See how you're feeling. Okay. Chair pose. Inhaling. Sit down low. Reach up high. Utkatasana. Exhaling. Fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhaling, Urdhva Dhanirasana, halfway up, flat back, open chest. Exhaling, step it back to plank. Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhaling, I'm in Bhujapadasana. You might be in Urdhva Mukha is what I was looking for. Exhaling, Adho Mukha, down dog. All right, pause and breathe. Pause and breathe. So, inhale the right leg up. You can stack the hip. You can bend the knee. You can circle the ankle or the whole leg around. If you want to flip your dog, you can flip your dog. And then we're going to move through Vashisthasana, any variation. And then right hand comes down, right foot steps to the outside of your right hand. And we're going to walk the hands back a little bit and just play with Kundanasana too. But I want to give you some building blocks. Some of you may go into it easily. Some of you may be like totally confounded by that arm balance. And, you know, some of you are somewhere in between. So the hands are down. I've walked them back a little bit. I'm going to lift the right heel and bring my right hand to my calf muscle and slip my shoulder behind my knee any amount, and the heel goes down. Now, if you're like most people, your right sit bone is going to want to head off to the right. See if you can point your right sit bone back towards your left heel, and then walk the hands back a little bit more. So shift forward and back, and just move through that back leg, calf muscle moving back and forth. And the next time you're back, stay there and see if you can toe heel your right foot to the right and lift the foot up. You don't have to straighten the leg, just see. Now shift forward and lift the back leg. And if you feel comfortable, you can straighten the right leg. Yeah? Okay. Inhaling right leg up and back. Whatever happened is more than would have happened if you didn't practice today. Step your right foot forward and just pause. Straighten the right leg. Any amount. You can have a bend in the knee. You can have blocks under the hands, just nice and easy. Pause in pyramid pose. Lengthen the heart forward toward the big toe. So you can stay here. Some of you might put the back knee down and come back into Urdhva Dhanirasana, but as I promised, we'd be back here, right? So if you're feeling a little more open, maybe you're gonna slide forward some amount and put a block underneath your hamstring. Now I have my back toes tucked, and the reason that I'm doing that is this back hip really loves to open, and we're trying to not let that happen. We're spinning the left hip forward, we're drawing the right thigh bone back. So like warrior 1 or like warrior 3, right? And you can release the arms. You can take the arms up, draw the navel in. Now some of you might feel even more open. So if that's you, then you can come on down. But keep spinning that left hip forward, and your left inner thigh is spinning toward the sky. And you might take the arms up, or you might need the hands down. No force. It's not like anything sort of like there isn't any extra enlightenment for being in a full Hanuman. The extra enlightenment comes from having respect for your body and practicing compassion, truly. Okay, so if you were in full splits, you're gonna rebend the right leg and tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, spin the back foot flat, inhaling, come on up for warrior 1. And now exhale and open out for warrior 2. And you can feel now the back hip just opened. That's what we're playing with right now, and that's what we're talking about. So sit down into warrior 2. We've been in a lot of what we call externally rotated poses today. So hopefully it's feeling pretty good, and you can sit down into it any amount and open the arms. And now we're gonna take your right forearm to your thigh and left arm up. Pivot the left arm, wrap it behind your back. So you can stay right here with your forearm on your side, but notice like I'm not putting any weight on I'm using my core. If you feel comfortable, you can take the right arm underneath the leg. If you want to really target like hamstring and side body opening right now, then you can stay in a wrapped triangle. Slowly, gently press your right leg straight. It's very deep, so go easy. If you want to step forward for Bird of Paradise, you're welcome to it. Remember that standing Marichyasana we did and how your hip felt, the leg that's in the air, and see if you can find that again if you're doing it. And then on the way out of Bird of Paradise, you might decide to switch feet and rock the weight toward your right toes and float the left leg out behind you. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okay, left arm up, inhaling, warrior 2. Straighten the right leg. We're going to move into triangle pose. So open the arms out. The ankles are underneath the wrists. And on an inhale, reach the right arm way forward. Exhaling, right arm down, left arm up. So you can lightly rest your right hand on your shin. You can have your hand on a block to the outside of your front leg, or the fingertips can be on the floor. In Ashtanga, you hook the right big toe, but you make it a shorter stance. You move the back leg forward a bit. So lots of options. Lift the kneecaps and quads. That's one thing. It's a classic standing pose, and you want to feel energy moving from the ground up. Yeah? Okay. Now, you can look down if you want. We're going to step forward for the half moon. Sometimes you have to take a little curtsy step there. And do something with your left foot and your left hand, like energize all the way through your toes and your fingertips. No dead limbs in the air here, okay? Sometimes people's fingers curl in toward their palms, or their foot's just hanging out in space. Nothing weighs you down more than not being fully engaged. All right, Shavasana was there if you wanted it. I don't think I said that. Come to warrior 2. Flip the right palm. Inhaling, reverse. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend and exhaling to the down dog. Breathe for a moment. Okay, take your left leg up. You can stack the hip, you can bend the knee, you can circle the ankle or the whole leg around. You can also decide to flip your dog. And if you're flipping out, root into the inner right hand. And then some variation of Vashisthasana happening. And then left hand down and step your left foot to the outside of your hand and walk the hands back. Okay, so we're going to play with Ekapada Kundanasana 2, which is really triangle pose facing the floor. I know it might sound funny, but you'll see what I mean. So shift back. So you're shifting the weight forward and back, right? Shift back, walk the hands back. Lift your left heel. Bring your left hand to your calf muscle if you can, and try to slip the shoulder behind the knee and put the heel down. Now, remember, your left sit bone's probably wanting to stick out to the left. Point your left sit bone back towards your right heel. Walk the hands back more. Shimmy the back foot back and get the weight off the left foot. And then shift forward to see if you can lift the right leg up. And then inhaling, left leg up and back, and exhaling, step the foot through and press this front leg straight for pyramid pose. So see how you feel, before you make any decisions about what you might or might not do on this side. Lengthen the heart forward and fold it in. And you can stay there, or you can put the back knee down and come back into Urdhva Hanuman. And if you're feeling more open, this might be where you grab a block and you're going to put the block underneath your hamstring. And I'm going to keep my back toes tucked so that that back hip doesn't open, and kind of see how this feels. Now, my left side, I always have to just really check in. I had years and years ago, I think probably decades ago at this point, I had a teacher, I was in standing splits with my left leg in the air. The teacher came up behind me and pulled my leg toward him, and I heard it go like my hamstring. And so it took about 1.5 years to heal. But it's fine now, but I have to pay attention to it. So it's just a really good little reminder every day, every time I get on my mat, that, your body is your best teacher, and there's never any reason to force anything. That's how people get hurt, whether you're doing it to yourself or somebody comes up behind you. And it was an accident. He wasn't intentionally trying to hurt me or anything. Just these things happen, but they don't have to. Okay, here we go. So whatever variation makes sense for you. I'm going to keep my hands down today because my left hamstring is asking for that support, and God knows I rely on my left hamstring a lot, so I want to be nice to it. I love you, hamstring. Okay. Now we are going to slide the left leg back and bend the left knee and tuck the back toes and spin the back foot flat and set up the feet for warrior 1, right, where we've got the hips moving forward. And you can salute the sun.
And exhaling, open it out for warrior two. And you can bring your hands to your hips for a minute and just kind of see, like, if you can sit down into a 90-degree bend at this point, just depending on the day and how you're feeling. And open the arms, shift the gaze over the front fingertips. And then we're going to take the left forearm to the thigh and the right arm up, and you can pivot the top arm and wrap it behind your back, right? Or some of you might go for the full bind. And if you're going for the full bind, you have options. You could decide to straighten this left leg for a wrapped triangle pose, which I've just been loving lately. Kind of forgot how much I love this pose, so that might be something to explore. You can also step your right foot forward for Bird of Paradise, and remembering the Marichasana, standing Marichasana hip, and breathe. Whatever happens, like, keep breathing. Try to have a sense of humor. It took me a long time to work that out, because my default would be type A if I didn't like work on it a lot. Type A perfectionism. And my God, is that a miserable way to exist. Yeah, some of you know what I mean. Okay, you got to work on it. Left arm up. You can unravel that. You just have to really focus on it. Okay, open the arms out. You have to erode that loud inner critic. So when it shows up to play, you say, no, I'm not listening to you. Reach the left arm forward. Triangle pose. Exhaling, left arm down. Right arm up. Yeah. Remember that, like, energy moving up your legs. Imagine that, like, I don't know, you're drawing, your roots of your feet are going down into the earth and sucking up, like, all the nutrients, water, everything that you need into the trunk. Mixing metaphors, but work with me. Okay. Okay, we're going to step it forward for the half moon. And that's just a beautiful pose, isn't it? Just feels so expansive in my body. I hope, you can always do it at the wall. If you are not feeling that expansive, oh, I love this pose, go to the wall and spread out against the wall. So at least you teaching your body where you want to go, how you'd like it to be. Give it the neural pathway to figure it out. Okay, we're going to go back to warrior two. Flip the left palm, inhaling, reverse, and exhaling, bring the hands down. This time tuck the back toes, lean back, step forward. Inhaling, chest out, and exhaling, fold in. Lengthen your spine, come on up. So we're going to go upside down first, which is going to be fun. And there are different things that you can work on depending on who you are and how you're feeling. So I'm going to grab a bolster. If you have one, you might want to grab it, or a firm couch pillow will certainly do the trick. And a couple things. If you want restorative, just know that you can run your legs up the wall. Viparita Karani, right? You slide your hips up to the wall, you run your legs up the wall, and you just let gravity do its thing. And you breathe. You make sure you tuck the shoulder blades underneath you. And that's always there for you. An advanced practice is knowing what your body needs, A, and then having the good sense to give your body what it needs, B. Sometimes we force. I'm going to show you the L pose. So if you are someone who, like, you're working toward handstands, but it hasn't happened yet, and I would like you to have a mat underneath your hands if you're doing that, then you're going to walk your feet up the wall, so heels up the wall. Walk your feet to hip height
and straighten the legs so that your wrists, elbows, shoulders, and hips are in line and your legs are parallel to the floor. If you're new to that, you may have a tendency to walk your feet up too high, so you're more like an I, so you might need to take a picture of yourself. When you get comfortable, you can take one leg away from the wall and then the other. You can also, rest between sides. So those are ways you can work toward handstand. The L pose is also, I can't emphasize this enough, really great if you already have an inversions practice so that you don't start building so much strength that you're tightening up the shoulders. Whole point is to be opening, right? So you're building those nice, long, lean muscles and not kind of bulky, tightening muscles. Okay. Those of you that already have a handstand practice, you know this already. When you kick up, your shoulders are going to be over your knuckles. They're not over your wrists. They're not behind your wrists. They're forward and the arms are straight. Check in. You're trying to spin the triceps back. So I'll face you. You don't want to be here with the elbows buckling. You want to be here. Okay? So I'm going to face the wall now. If you want to start to work on sending the legs up together, this is how you do it. Okay? Eventually, like when you start, it's okay if you're kicking one leg up at a time. It's just that once you get up there, you got to bring those legs together and it can be difficult. Whereas if you kick up together, you're lifting your legs as a unit. So hands or shoulders distance apart. I'm leaning the back of my head and my upper back into the bolster. Legs are together. I'm going to bend the knees and pop the hips up. Okay? And you might catch air the first time. You might, eventually the legs will go straight up. Yeah. You could decide to play with all the hip opening that we did today and take a wide straddle. Yeah. It's fun. When you feel like you're running out of steam, you gotta come on down. Oh, so much fun. Just try to stay curious the whole time. Stay curious. Have a good time with it. The more intense you get and the more like type A you get, the less likely you are to balance. Because like if you think about when you're standing on your feet and you're going through the day, you're not standing like this, right? You're relaxed. There's like some juice to it. There's some give to it. You're just like, you're chill. You want to feel that same feeling upside down. Okay. Before I bring you back to the mat, grab a block. There's 2 arm balances I want to play with all that hip and hamstring and shoulder opening we did. Grasshopper pose is 1 and Urdhva is 2. So take a block. If you are new to grasshopper pose and not sure how this is going to go, that's okay. That's why we're doing it together. You got to learn. You have to start somewhere. So you're going to have your hips at the wall and you're going to pick up your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. I was ambitious today. I have a lot of things that I want to do with you. Bring the hands to prayer and sit forward and see how this feels. This might be like your hip might be like, that's it, right? That's fine. If that's you, then just see if you can start to shift your butt away from the wall. And now you're in a balancing hip opener. You just are. The only thing touching the floor is the sole of your left foot. Okay, so Mula Bandha, lift the pelvic floor, draw the navel in. If you feel a little more comfortable, you can take your hips back to the wall for a minute and bring your right elbow into the arch of your right foot. Now, do you remember way before when we were doing the standing frog and we were taking the right shoulder to center and wrapping the left chest open? Well, hello, here it is. So try to wrap the chest open and then see again, maybe you can take your hips away from the wall. If you're feeling more comfortable, you can bring your tricep into the arch of your foot. You can have a block under your right hand and you can wrap the left chest open, okay? These are the building blocks for grasshopper pose. Those of you who are feeling really comfortable, hands are shoulders distance apart, and you're going to stand on your right tricep with your foot and take your left leg out to the left. Woof. And when you're done, just sit down and we'll take a quick little twist before we switch sides. Yeah. So when you're ready,
Both sit bones are rooting. I've got my right leg crossed on top of my left. I've got the sole of my right foot flat. My left leg is tucked underneath me, and I'm going to tent my right fingertips. Take my left arm up, inhaling and exhaling, twist. And years ago, I don't even know when it started, very early, whenever I'm in a seated twist, I always imagine that I'm balancing a book on the crown of my head. And it really helps. Very My Fair Lady, you know? My Fair Man, whatever. My Fair Person. Okay. And unwind and just counter twist for a second. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's do the second side, everybody. Woof. Okay. Have your block handy. Take it to the outside of your right foot now. And then pick up your left ankle and cross it above the right knee and sit down into it, and you can bring the torso forward. Now, I'm not collapsing in my chest. You've got to keep your chest open for arm balances. Chaturanga. You got to keep this open. People tend to hunch. It's horrible. Please lengthen, create space for your neck, keep your chest open. Okay. Hands to prayer and sit down and see. And maybe today the work is shifting forward, and now my butt's off the wall and I'm balancing on my right foot. If that feels approachable, then you can take your elbow into the left arch, and just like we did way earlier in that standing frog, right? We're wrapping the right chest open. If you're feeling like that is approachable, then you can have a block underneath the left hand and take the tricep into the arch of your foot and wrap the right chest open, okay? And those of you who are like, yep, I got all that, my triceps in the arch of my foot, I'm feeling good, hands come down, shoulders distance apart, chest is open, focal point is about a foot in front of your hands, right down the middle. Coming into the seated twist when you're ready. We're going to shelve Ashtavakasana for next time because we have other things we got to do. All right, so tent your left fingertips, take the right arm up, inhaling and exhaling. The rain in Spain. Okay, don't do that. Breathe. Good. And counter twist. Oh my goodness, that feels good, doesn't it? Okay, come on to your back. We will practice non-attachment and do Ashtavakasana next time. Okay. So, when you're on your back, see how you're feeling. Oh, I hope you feel good. I'm feeling like really good today. Strong and open and energized. But you know what happens, right? Like you might come back tomorrow and maybe you don't feel so strong and energized and open. And your job as a yogi is just be like, okay, that's how it is today. So try not to go up and down. Just like enjoy. This is a good day. This is a harder day. I get to move my body. Just stay in that mindset. Lucky me, right? Okay, so knees and ankles in line. Feet are hip distance apart. Draw the navel down. Lift the hips up. And you can slip a block underneath your sacrum and make it a restorative bridge pose. Or you can clasp the hands underneath the back and rock right and left for an active bridge pose. So energize your legs, y'all. Like you're trying to stand up on your legs. Key to a safe back bend. And you can stay here. You could decide, I'm going to flip onto my belly and take Dhanirasana, bow pose, or I'm going to stand on my knees for Ustrasana, or I'm going to move into Urdhva Dhanirasana, which is what I'm going to do. Hands to the outsides of the ears, fingertips under the shoulders, inhaling to the crown of the head, exhaling up. Make sure whatever you choose, like if you're in Dhanirasana and bow pose on your belly, try to keep the knees together. Just try. Even if your body doesn't do that, work with that idea. Keep your knees
together if you can. And flex your feet and pull back and open up the chest. If you're in camel pose, your knees are under your hips, inner thighs are spinning toward the space behind you. If you're working on deepening your back bend, you can actually use the wall as a prop for Urdhva Dhanirasana. And in that case, I'll just show you over here. Slide the mat forward a little bit. So in that case, you're going to bring your wrists right up to the wall, hands or shoulders distance apart, and you're going to come on up and walk your feet in. Keep your toes pointing forward. This is also how you can start to work toward drop backs, right? You can walk up the wall. And it's the same, like if you're like most people, as you go back, your toes are going to want to point out. You try to avoid that if you can. Draw the navel in, lean back, and you can climb down the wall, and eventually you won't need the wall. I'm not feeling super open to show you that right now, but it's fun. It's a fun thing to play with. When you're done, come onto your mat, bring your feet together and your knees apart for a little Badakanasana. And so see if you can create a long spine. Now, you might be somebody who the knees are sticking up in the air and the low back is rounding. If that's you, sit up on a block and give yourself the length in your spine. And I promise you over time, the hips will open. You know, it's all connected. So if the low back is tight, you know, that can be part of what's making the pose hard. If the hamstrings are tight, like, you know, just give yourself the long spine first. Make that your priority. Those of you that have a long spine in the pose can fold forward. And traditionally, you hold your feet, you bring your elbows to your inner thighs. And you're like trying to kiss your mat. Now, if you feel any tension building in your shoulders while you're doing that, then let go of your feet and walk the hands forward. Okay, and gravity may help you quite a lot. And then in addition to using the block, like if you're feeling, you know, like you need to be sitting on the block to find the space, you can also use the block if you feel very open in the pose in two different ways. One, put it the long way between your feet. Hopefully you can see that. And then pull the block in toward you and lengthen your spine and fold forward. And you'll definitely feel a little bit more in the inner thighs, more than a little, and the low back. And that's special. Or lastly, you can put your feet up on the block. Now, at no time should you feel hip openers in your knees. If you're feeling any stretching sensation in your knees, please understand the only thing that can stretch in your knees are ligaments and tendons. And ligaments and tendons are what we need to keep the joint stable. We don't want to stretch them out. Okay, so you don't want to force hip openers. I know so many people who've done that. I know Ashtanga teachers who are like 80 years old and they're walking down the street and their knees are popping out. It's just like, please don't do that. Don't do it. Just don't. Yep. Okay. Whew. Now we're going to go into a wide straddle. So if you're up on the block for Badakanasana, you're going to want to stay on the block for the wide straddle. Separate your legs as far apart from each other as they will go. And press yourself to the front of your sit bones. We did a lot of, like, as I was saying earlier, externally rotated hip opening. If your spine is not long, you stay upright. Okay? Really and truly prioritize your spine. Otherwise, you can walk it forward. When you walk forward, sometimes the knees and toes like to roll forward with you.
work against that. Point your knees and toes straight up to the sky. Come down any amount where you can still breathe and it feels right. So, if you do this pose for a long time, you might end up here. I wish I could tell you that like butterflies were flying around. It's just sensation. It's just sensation. Dalai Lama doesn't come busting through the door and grant you enlightenment. So sorry for the spoiler alert if you're disappointed, but there is no pose that is going to grant you enlightenment. What happens for people sometimes is that the journey toward a pose that's really difficult, like once you finally get there, is so rewarding, that understand like, wow, I took my time and I worked with my body and I didn't give up. And now this thing happened that I thought would never happen. That's enlightening, but the actual pose, no. So just remind yourself of that. Okay, press into your arms. Come on up. Scoop the legs up. We're going to head into Shavasana. If there's anything that you feel like you need, if you want plow shoulder stand, for example, feel free to take it. My neck is feeling a little like it doesn't really want that today, so I'm not going to do that. I do supported shoulder stand. I had a car accident like years and years ago. Prior to that, shoulder stand felt really great in my body. After that, no. And it doesn't matter how many blankets I perfectly stack or how perfectly I set up for it. My body just is not, my neck does not want to do a classic shoulder stand anymore. Headstand, yes. Headstand, I love. So that's my practice. That doesn't mean that has to be your practice, but please, if you are doing shoulder stand, it's a very intense, you've got your head and your cervical vertebrae going one way, and then your spine is going to go straight up. So you want to make sure that if you need a couple of blankets, and we have shoulder stand tutorials on the site that are really, really great. So if you're not sure that you're doing it right, please go take one of those. Leslie Kazadi has something like really broken down. It's important. Okay. All right. Anyway, here we are. I'm in Shavasana. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath you. If you need props, if you want like a bolster underneath your knees, go for it. And breathe. What's nice is if you practice headstand for a long time, you get to a point where you can hold it for 25 breaths and your shoulders, it's for me, that's a beautiful end of practice pose, but you don't do that kind of thing on days where your neck feels funky. Yeah? Okay. Once you get to Shavasana, just make sure that you are sliding the shoulders away from the ears, tucking the shoulder blades underneath you. If it's comfortable for you to have your palms up, just a nice sort of energetic sign that you're ready to receive. But if it's not comfortable, do what you need to do. Let your legs fall open and give the weight of your body to the floor. I'm going to take you through a yoga nidra, which essentially it just means yogic sleep. What it is just a way of staying present. What we're looking for in Shavasana and corpse pose is this non-dual awareness, right? Like this idea that we're part of everything around us. And so you don't want to go to sleep. You just want to stay aware of sensation, curious about the energy moving through your body right now. So I'm going to call out these body parts, and I'm just asking you to turn your attention to these places and look for any sensation. It can be as simple as feeling your clothing against your skin or feeling the mat underneath you. Might be that you feel tingling or heat from inside, like it, just any sensation counts. Here we go. Right hand, thumb. Right index finger. Middle finger. Fourth finger. Pinky finger. Palm of your right hand. Right hand wrist. . right forearm, bicep, tricep, right side of your chest, right side ribs, right hip, thigh, calf muscle, top of your right foot, sole of your right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe, and drawing your awareness now to your left hand thumb, left index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, pinky finger, palm of your left hand, left hand wrist, left forearm, bicep, tricep, left side of your chest, left side ribs, left hip, thigh, calf muscle, top of your left foot, sole of your left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe, and drawing your awareness now to the crown of your head, your scalp, back of your neck, upper back, lower back, sit bones, And drawing your awareness now to your forehead, space between your eyebrows, muscles around your eyes, the hinge of your jaw, mouth, tongue, throat, and the space at the front of your heart, the space behind your heart, your belly, your low belly, and your whole body. And just imagining that you can move breath freely throughout your body. So that as you're here, gently breathing, natural breath, you're inhaling from the tips of your toes all the way up to the crown of your head, and exhaling from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. And that this breath that you're just gently breathing is full of energy, and it's healing, loving, kind energy, nurturing energy, strengthening energy, and it's the color of sunlight. And you're just flooding your body with all of this beautiful energy and light as you rest. Allow your next breath to be a little bit deeper. And gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. On an inhale, you can reach your right arm or both arms up over your head. And when you exhale, hug the knees way up into your chest and roll onto your right side. And press into your arms and come on up to sitting. And find a long spine, just coming full circle. And noticing how you feel now at the end of your practice versus maybe how you felt at the beginning. And I'm going to imagine there's been a profound shift. There always is for me. And just to really appreciate that, putting in the effort and the time and the intention is just, it's so powerful. And it's really all you need to do is show up for yourself and practice, and it takes care of the rest. So thank you for practicing with me. Bring your hands to prayer at your forehead for clarity of thought, to your mouth for clarity of speech, and to your heart for clarity of action, letting your light shine through the things that you're thinking, saying, and doing. Namaste.